get anything that it's not. It was just a good play on basketball. I'm not sure what the refs saw to upgrade it, and that's up to their discretion after watching the initial whatever happened during the play and then whatever happened after. We watch a lot of basketball. It's a take foul to put them at the free throw line and rather give like 2 points. I've watched a lot of basketball in my life. That's exactly what it was. I wasn't trying to do anything malicious. That's not the type of player I am. So, yes, wasn't anything like that. And I went for the ball, and that's clear as day. And in the replay, you watch it. It shouldn't have been upgraded, but again, that's what she did. I didn't see that. Oh, girl, I'm paying that fine.
Can I get out? Can you?
I got it. That's something that's a good play on basketball. I'm not sure what the refs saw to upgrade it, and that's up to their discretion after watching.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, sports world?
The torch.
What's really good.
The torch is on fire.
That is my theme music for the day. Replica by LFA. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. We on Monday Night Madness tonight. It's gonna be a lot of madness in this mother. You know what today? I'm telling you right now, it's gonna get real in this joint. We got a lot to talk about. Shout out to everybody tuned in. Make sure you like and share the show. One's gonna be a scorcher. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a scorcher, y'all. I'm telling you right now, listen carefully. It's about to be a scorcher. First and foremost, we'll get the bullshit out the way first. We'll get the bullshit out the way. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, we'll get that bullshit out the way. We're going to talk NBA Finals. We'll also talk about the NFL schedule, the whole 9 yards today. So make sure you lock in, tune in, load up. You already know this is the show right here where alphas and madness meet. My guy Marcus the Alphabets is in the building. I also got Russell K in the building too. Listen, we're gonna get it going. But let me start off the show. Marcus, if you didn't hear the theme music for today, I'm gonna tell you what the theme music is right now. Listen to this. Now, that's my little DJ, impression for the day. That's Replica by LFA. Shout out to him. But speaking of fake, speaking of fake, I got to start off the show with the Gotta Get 'em segment. I gotta get a moment of the week right here on Monday Night Madness. Gotta get 'em. It is time to get y'all. Let me first and foremost be the torch for a minute before I turn into the fire starter and say the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese saga continues. It continues, folks. So, right off the jump, last night or the night before, you seen it. Caitlin Clark, they up big. Angel Reese open for a layup. Caitlin Clark delivers a hard foul in which she shoves Angel Reese to the floor. Angel Reese gets up and reacts. That's the gist of that. I have all day long, Marcus, you've been a part of this because me and you've been talking, seen the buffoonery that's my new favorite word. By the way, if you do not know me and Marcus greatly, that is one of Marcus' favorite words. I've picked up on buffoonery. He's picked up on dumpster juice. We have pretty much talked about this stuff in a session. Marcus, it's your fault why buffoonery is my favorite word. I see it way too much now, man. Way too much simp behavior going on. You got people talking about Angel Reese, if she was 4 inches shorter, would be working a drive-through. The stupidity that I've seen on here is just absolutely ridiculous. Angel Reese, she's got the record because she rebounds her own rebounds constantly. I mean, they add just extra mess to this whole situation that is the foul. So let me first and foremost say this, and I'm gonna say this in the most disrespectful way I can, but be very nice about it at the same point. For all you dummies that don't know basketball, I need y'all to just shut up. Don't you adding in or interjecting when you don't really watch, when you don't research, when you have no real knowledge of basketball. Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. I gotta say it just like that. Just shut the entire F up. STFU. Legitimately, I need you to do that. Because I've heard football players today making comments that just don't make sense. RG3, please stick to football. Sir. So if you don't know basketball acumen, I need you to be quiet. Now, I played the video in the very beginning of the show where Caitlin Clark is on the podium with Stephanie White and Aaliyah Boston. She says, oh, it was just a take foul. I didn't want her to score, so it was a take foul. And I was making a play on the basketball. Everybody saw it. The refs saw it, the whole 9 yards. This is a national press conference, right? Let me tell you the biggest problem with Caitlin Clark. Her fans. It's not even her. It's her fans. Caitlin Clark is a great player. Angel Reese is a good player. It's her fans. The ones who go on social media and sound like buffoons and say stupid, buffoonish shit. That makes her look complicit to stupidity. But I have to directly do my journalism shit with this press conference. She said that it was a take foul. Back of the alphabet. We didn't have to go on the Maury Povich show to prove this one. But Caitlin Clark, sorry, boo-boo, you're wrong. You're wrong. You said it was a take foul. But what you described was absolutely the exact opposite, sweetheart. But what killed me in this whole situation is that she said she's watched enough basketball to know, but she didn't go by her own experience. Marcus, Russell, is experience its best teacher when it comes to experiences in life? Is experience its best teacher? Am I right or wrong? Tell me when I'm lying. Experience is its best teacher, right? So why didn't you mention your experience in the press conference? Why did you mention watching? Well, here's why. Here's some journalistic behaviors coming from yours truly, The Torch. I got, for those who don't know Google for Dummies, what a take file actually is. Okay? Here's what a take file actually is. Stephanie White, I need you to let your players know before they go on national press conferences to make sure they actually have what a take file really is. So I'm going to read it. A take file is a type of personal foul committed by a defender to stop an offensive player's fast break opportunity without making a legitimate play on the ball. Well, what? Marcus, did you hear what I just said? Was it take foul? Russell, did you hear what I said was a take foul, sir?
Loud and clear.
I thought you made a take foul. You said you made a legitimate play on the ball. You literally just described what is not a take foul. It's not a take foul, sweetheart. What you did was a hard foul, a shove. And as I stated last week on the show, I'm not mad about physicality. I love it. The game needs more physicality. What I am annoyed by is your stupid idiot fans who don't know basketball at all. The dummies. Okay? I'm also annoyed that people say, well, she didn't have a right to react. I'm going to tell you right now that is straight simp behavior. Only simpletons think that you can do something to somebody and then tell the person that you did something to how to react to it. That's like if Marcus punched Russell in the face and then told Russell, well, you can only pinch me, or you can only verbally spar with me. You can't do anything. You're not allowed to. No, where I'm from, nobody does that. If I do something to somebody, I'm expecting some type of reaction where I'm from. Okay? Where Marcus is from. If somebody do something to Marcus, you better believe they better be expecting Marcus to do something.
I gotta get my lick. I gotta get my lick back.
It's only a certain culture who thinks that shit is a-okay, where we can do whatever we want and then no repercussion or recourse. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Caitlin, it wasn't a take foul, sweetheart. That's number one. Number two, sweetheart, I knew something was wrong when you didn't go off your own experiences. You've played basketball, but you mentioned I watched it. That's number two. And Stephanie White, you're sitting there as her coach, allowing her to sound like a buffoon, because real journalists like me will cut that shit right up real quick and then give you what the truth is. Oh, and then I've heard the story, well, Angel Reese pushed Howard in the back, and that's why she did it. Well, once again, you idiot buffoon morons who don't know basketball, aka the Caitlin Clark fan base, who don't know basketball, sweetheart, contact on a player's back when you play the power forward position, battling for a rebound, is normal basketball behavior. It's normal. It's not egregious. It's normal. Tell me when I'm lying. Marcus, am I lying? Battling for position. Is that normal? Yes, it's normal for someone to push in the back, guard somebody from the back to try to get position. Is it a foul? Yes. depending on who's reffing the games. It's a foul. But is it egregious? No. Which explains to me again, when idiots say, well, she did it because of that. Notice that Howard didn't even respond to the contact because she knows it's normal. But yet you told us that Caitlin Clark was so smart. So if you're saying that Caitlin Clark, I almost said Caitlin Clown. Caitlin Clark did that, the hard foul because of that, then you're telling me Caitlin doesn't know basketball because it's a normal basketball behavior.
Can we kind of agree that what it is they want to make this into look. They came into the league the same year. They came into the league the same year, right?
Sure did.
They came into the league the same year, right?
Yeah.
Look, in any sport, you're always going to have that person that you're going to be compared to. You're going to be compared to.
Marcus, why? No. Hold on, Marcus. But why? She's a point guard. Angel Reese is a power forward. Why are we comparing two different positions in a positionless basketball era? Why are we even doing that? Why are we doing that? Why are we? That doesn't even make zero sense. I mean, you can compare anybody.
Well, it's not about the positions. It's about you have two of the biggest, the most visible players in the league. They came into the league at the same time, and until they retire, they're gonna always be attached to each other. That's just what it is. They're gonna always be attached to each other. So, sports is about rivalries. And the thing that makes sports really great is rivalries. You got to have that person that pushes you, the Magic, the Birds, the Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras, the Williams sisters versus Lindsay Davenport and Maria Sharapova and all them. They're gonna always look for Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods, and whatever sport that you have, what they want to try to do is create rivalries. That's just what it is. Hagler, Hearns, that's just what it is. So as long as these two are still playing against each other, they're going to be compared versus, even though they don't play the same position, they're the two most visible people in the NFL, in the WNBA. So I mean, it's just kind of like what we should, that's just what it is. So that's not going to stop. And guess what? There's going to be every year, every sport from here until the end of time. Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, they're going to be joined at the hips. That's just what it is. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, even though they're kind of whoever's in your era.
Let's get to the why every time they come up does the WNBA have to mention about racism again, though? Why is that? Why does the racism conversation come up every single time these two play? Every time, literally, in the last couple times,
it's literally Bird and Magic.
Right. Okay. So we recognize the rivalry, right? We recognize it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. And then I'm gonna move on from the bullshit. But I gotta put it out there. First of all, number one, in the comment section, I'm about truth. I'm not about bullshit. That's the truth. I don't know what you're talking about. Finding a way. Finding a way to what? Tell the truth, sir. Why can't people accept? Nobody. Okay, so first and foremost, nobody has a problem that Caitlin Clark is the face of the league. That's not the problem. Yes, she could hoop. So what? It's not hate when you're telling the truth. Dwayne Woodley, sit down. Have several seats, sir. I'm gonna just tell you that.
But I'm just saying though, it's
Jay Renard crying about what? That's telling the truth in journalism is not crying. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, sir, again, one of those buffoon comments. Yeah, a lot of people don't know sports now. Mike,
It's
what
just,
up?
it's just
No, this is not
they're
nothing
too-
to bitch about. It's about facts. It's about facts. No, it's not a big deal. Again, if you heard what I literally just said in the beginning, I have no problem with the physicality. What I have a problem with is the bullshit narratives. And as a sports journalist, my number one objective is truth. My number one objective is facts, is to drop knowledge, which is exactly what the hell I'm doing right now. Legitimately, like I don't understand what y'all don't understand. I don't care if she's a white girl or not. I don't care. Jay Renat, I just showed you what a take file is. Goofy. Again.
Yeah, I mean,
make it make sense.
It's just
Make it
one,
make
it's just
sense.
one of those things. You have two different. Look, you got a black girl from Louisiana, from LSU. You got a white girl from Midwest United States. They're going to make those disparities. You don't just see that in the WNBA. You see that in every sport. You see the controversy between everybody compares, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. You got, the button-up guy from California. You got Lamar Jackson with the cornrows, and that's what sells. They sell. It's. I don't know necessarily if it's racism, but when you have two different lifestyles, two different worlds colliding with each other, it's DC versus Marvel. That's what it is. That's all it is.
Okay, so the second part to this is the fact of Aaliyah Boston, who's now in the middle of this. This is what I hate when it comes to certain players and certain stuff, because other people get dragged into it. Aaliyah Boston, sweetheart, last I checked, for those who don't remember how this all started to begin with, it all started with the taunting. Remember the taunting stuff that they were doing? Do you remember Caitlin Clark taunting Raven Johnson, doing this as if like she ain't shit? That's what it says in basketball terms, that you ain't shit. I ain't worried about you.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You know who Raven Johnson's teammate was? Aaliyah Boston. Don't they keep a sisterhood when you in college and you play sports together, right? It's like a family, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let me include this now. So now, Angel Reese, who's the girl who took up for Raven Johnson, by the way, the reason why she did this, you remember this? That was because of Raven Johnson. If you actually watched the press conference and actually did research, I noticed. So did this. That was for Raven Johnson. When she mocked her, when she did this, after the whole this shit. Yeah, Aaliyah, what's up, sweetheart? Because when that whole went down, even you added a shove, which is the reason why you got a tech. They teed her up. She didn't even know she got teed up in the game because she added the shove. What's up with that? Like, so the person who takes up for your teammate, your sister, you literally shoved because you on teams with Caitlin Clark. I just found that to be kind of funny, because if this was Kennedy Carter, y'all remember Kennedy Carter, right? The one who had the bad attitude from Chicago, who they literally pretty much blackballed out the league. If Kenny Carter would have acted like that with Angel Reese, would y'all all have the same energy right now? I'm just wondering. Would any of y'all have the same energy? Probably not. And this is why I say,
look, the W. What it really boils down to is that, let's keep it above. The WNBA. Not a lot of people watch the WNBA, so they're going to try to make something where people, it brings attention to it. That's all this is, and I think that's why it's even more so buffoonish what RG3 said. I don't really think that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. I don't. I think what it is. I don't think this. I don't think this.
RG3 got on, but RG3 got on there and made that buffoonish comment about Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark because they're friends, and she lost her basketball career due to bro.
Sports is also entertainment. I mean, and if you look back in the day, Muhammad Ali, he even said it. He goes, I would do stuff to, that would kind of piss off Joe Frazier. I would do stuff to, he would talk all kind of craziness to him. He goes, I'm trying to promote the fight. What you're doing, even this is sports, but it's also entertainment. And what people like to see is drama. It's like my daddy says, all right? People love a show. They will come to your coronation and they'll come to your beheading. People just want to see a show. That's what it is. So the show right now is I don't want to use the word rivalry. I think the word rivalry is used a little bit too much. I say this all the time, and certain people get upset when I say this. It's not a rivalry if one side always wins, but what they want to see two players diametrically opposed to each other and for them to battle it out. That's all it is. Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield.
Dwayne, timeline, sir. Timeline matters. I'm not understanding. Somebody get me out the Twilight Zone. Do timeline not matter?
I mean, this just happened the other day. Yeah, but the thing about it is they're always going to be joined at the hips.
Agree.
You have that person that that every time you see them. Look, I'm a big Family Guy person. I love that show, Family Guy. And Peter Griffin, he always fighting against the chicken. That's what it is. It's when I see you, it's on. I don't hate you. It's just every time I see you, you know what it is. You know what it is. Every time. It's on site. That's what it is between them. And it's going to be to the day. And I bet you one day when they're both retired and they're old women and they're in their 50s, their 40s, 50s, they're going to be like, you know what? I love Angel Reese. I love her. We had some battles back in the day. That's what, just like Bird and Magic. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Watch this. And your corrupt media is the one who made it about race. First and foremost, if we're gonna keep it a buck and be honest, your corrupt media sources that you probably revere made it about race, sir. Let's stop the bullshit now and stop acting like Caitlin Clark's fan base doesn't bring a certain attention and attitude to the WNBA.
For sure.
An attitude and an attention that it never had before until the whole rivalry between them two. Okay, let's stop the nonsense here. Let's stop trying to play blind like you don't know what I'm talking about. Like you know exactly what I'm talking about. Timeline matters.
Drama sells tickets. What we got next? We just spent 30 minutes on 30 minutes on it.
Hold on.
30 minutes on a cheap shot.
I gotta read this. Facts. Mainstream media wants a lot more than just sports. Is why they always push BS narratives. Duh. Melissa, absolutely. Duh, I agree. That's exactly what I'm saying. They literally push narratives, false narratives. But as a journalist, my job is to bring light to real. Anyway, moving on. NBA Finals. Let's get to that because I can see I'm really triggering folks. I knew it was going to be a trigger, but I don't care. Now, with that being said, you can join the conversation, 716-841-8249, and go ahead and let me hear your thoughts on anything that we've talked about so far and anything we're going to talk about during the show. I'd love to hear it. Now, NBA Finals, the New York Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers. Rivalry. Versus the Minnesota Timberwolves on the Western Hemisphere, on the Western side, against the Oklahoma City Thunder. My question to you guys right now, after you watched the Denver Nuggets OKC series, are we now definitive on who the MVP of the league is this year? And tell me who it is. I'll start with you.
She said she calling just to mess with you.
He
ESPN First Take has made it about race for sure. All jokes aside. Okay. I was messing with
Robert
you,
Griffin made it
trying to
about
get you. Trying to get you. I'm
you.
kidding.
No, I knew. Listen, what did I say the show was going to be in the very beginning? I said this one was going to be a scorcher. I know, because I know y'all. I know y'all. I love y'all to death. But from what I've read all day long, the buffoonery that I've read all day long, yeah, it's wild to me. It's just wild.
I think it's pretty much locked up that I would have to give the MVP to Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man.
Ant-Man ain't even in the running, Marcus.
I think,
but good.
Well, no, I'm saying, look, isn't this a regular seat? Isn't this you said who's been the MVP? You said who's been the MVP? I think it's been Ant-Man.
I'm not listen. You know what? I'm not against that, but I know he's not even in the run. He's not even top two. It's between SGA and Joker.
Yeah, Joker. You know, he's that new age of big man. You know, the big man now. You know, there was a lot of conversation. You know, about him. I saw there was a big old debate on TV the other day with him and Shaq. You know, could Shaq deal with him or whatever? I don't think we've seen a lot of, you know, big men that play like Joker, man. This guy, he's a different cat, man. He's a different cat. No, I'm saying he asked who has been the most impressive MVP type player. I say Ant-Man. Well, every time I've been watching Ant-Man, he's been the most, you know, the best player on the floor, in my opinion.
Okay, I'm not.
What do you think, Russ? What do you think, Russ?
Yeah, Russ.
He over checking his checking his.
He over here.
I'm checking my notes right now.
He's checking his notes.
I'm checking my notes right now.
All right, I'll tell you who I think it is. I think it's SGA, and I'm gonna tell you why. And this is weird, though. Again, when have you ever known the best player on the team to only take 9 shots in a game 7? Do y'all know that Nikola Jokic only took 9 shots in game 7? Do you know 7 of those shots came in the first half? So how many shots did he take in the second half? For all my mathematical folks.
2.
Who in the blue hell, Marcus, only takes 2 shots in the second half of a game 7? Makes me my spidey sense itches and tingles when I see stuff like that.
LeBron.
Oh, hold on now. Somebody claimed that he was the GOAT today, though. Somebody said he was the GOAT today. I ain't gonna say no names. Said he was the GOAT today. But go ahead. LeBron
will have a wide open 3 to win the game, and he'll dish it off.
I got my player. I like OG Anunoby.
Oh, from the Knicks, OB, and come on, dude. He ain't even the second or third. He's like the 3rd or 4th best player on the Knicks, and you said he's the MVP of the league.
That's a surprise pick.
You know, the league is better. I truly believe when certain teams are in the playoffs and they're doing well, that it's just better for the league. I believe when the New York Knicks are relevant, when they're playing well, I think it's just, you know, the Knicks, the Celtics, the Knicks, you know, when's the last time the Knicks won an NBA championship? Like 1972? Wasn't that Walt Clyde Frazier, 1972? Yeah. I mean, they had some good teams.
It's been 25 years since they made the Eastern Conference.
And on our last show, I actually picked the New York Knicks to go far in the playoffs, and look what happened. The New York Knicks are on the Final Four. I mean, come on. We talked about this on the last show.
Look, I'm gonna do it
Did I
today.
not
I'm
say that, George?
Russ, I'm a play a Marcus today. I'm gonna play a Marcus. Hey Marcus, that sound familiar?
I think that it's better when the Knicks are doing well. You know, you say 25 years. I think that was what was that like when they were probably Patrick Ewing still back in the day? Was that Patrick Ewing?
Yep, Patrick Ewing.
You know,
No,
was that Patrick Ewing?
2000?
What's this? That was 2000. 2000.
Nah,
Yeah,
that's 2000. That's Allen Houston. No, sir. Allen Houston played on the team.
he was on that team. No, Camby, right? Marcus Camby and
Allen Houston played on that team, sir. You got to remember Patrick Ewing played with the 92, 93, 94
Dream Team with the Dream Team. Wow, yeah, that is a. Was that Marcus Camby? He was a big man there. Marcus Camby, Larry Johnson, Grandmama. Was that Charlie Ward? Was that Charlie Ward too?
I don't remember. Oh yeah, Charlie Ward. It might have been. I don't remember.
I think that was Charlie Ward.
But I will tell you that it's been a long time, sir. Long time, since 2000. So, I mean, and that was the year of the lockout, by the way. Remember, that was the year the Spurs won the championship.
That was 90. That was 98.
No, it wasn't. It's 99, 2000 season, sir.
That was Duncan's rookie year, right?
99, 2000, sir. We can bet it right now if you want.
Charlie Ward, Carl Thomas.
Yeah, I know it was Charlie Ward. Yeah, Charlie Ward.
Eric Strickland.
Anthony Mason.
Yep.
Larry Johnson. Marcus Camby.
Travis Knight. Allen Houston.
Allen Houston used to be cold, man.
Told you Allen Houston was
Childs.
Who?
Chris Childs.
Chris Childs. He's the one who punched Kobe in the face. He's the one who punched Kobe in the face.
Sure did.
Punched him dead.
Sure did.
Sucker punched Kobe Bryant. I remember that.
Sure did.
And Ophelia. Right. Yeah, Ophelia Harrington was on there too.
Yep, I remember him. Dwayne Woodley. Listen, that ice cream man would be selling yogurt from now on. Okay? Yeah. If I told Torrance the ice cream man was trying to take his Cadillac converted, he'd get lit. Wait, bro, I'm just playing. Yeah, he'd be selling yogurt from now on. He'd be selling Dippin' Dots from now on. Okay? All right. What's that saying, Marcus? Some free dinner work.
Free dinner work.
Get you some of that real dinner hygiene. You want to fuck around, all right? This is FAFO season. By the way, it's FAFO season. Yes, it's funny when he gets hot. Melissa, thank you. I appreciate that you appreciate me getting warmed up. Fire starter. I can't. The buffoonery, man. The buffoonery. Anyway, moving on. Picks for the NBA Finals. Who will make it to the NBA Finals out of these four teams?
I already gave you my pick.
Who did you say?
The Knicks.
The Knicks and who? I need one more team on the other side of the hemisphere. I need the Knicks and who? Is it the Knicks and OKC or the Knicks in Minnesota?
I say the Knicks and OKC.
Marcus.
I'm going Knicks and Wolves. Knicks and Wolves.
Me and Marcus got the same finals. I'm going Knicks and Wolves. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Knicks, and I know regular season doesn't matter for some folks, but the Knicks has had the better of the Pacers this season, and the Wolves have had the better of OKC this season. I think that trend continues in the playoffs. Action slows down. You're talking about two very good defensive teams, by the way, when they get after it. Minnesota is very good defensively when they get after it. And so is the Knicks. I plan on both of those teams handling business. Robert Leader said OKC. I plan on them handling business. They got to handle their business. It's gonna be nice to see Brunson and Ant-Man go at it, because Brunson's the most clutch this year, and Ant-Man's probably the most confident. I'll say that, the most confident, most composed of the bunches. Not dipping dots. Asked Torch what color the Hawk would turn if he was a black dude. Hilarious. What color would he turn? Red. Red. That's the color he'd turn. Oh Lord, do I want to know? Hilarious. Red. I got the color red on right now. Red. Air Maxes, red Nike. What up?
So are you gonna keep sitting on this? Or are you gonna tell us how your conversation with, Torch? He ain't gonna come out here and brag about it, but I'm
no, don't you start. Are we done with NBA Finals? So y'all gonna sit up, Marcus? You gonna let the cat out the bag? Really? That's what we doing?
Okay. I'm just saying because you being real humble right now. You being real humble right now.
Here we go.
You being real humble right now. Okay, I'll let you. I ain't gonna spoil the surprise. Go ahead there.
Go ahead. You know what?
Man, I want to know how you got on the bus to get that interview. That's what I want to
know. Okay, so Marcus, go ahead. If we done talking NBA Finals, are we done talking NBA Finals? Because
we didn't talk WNBA. We didn't talk NBA. We try to cover
45 minutes. That's good.
Okay. Another quick thing before we jump over that, I guess our little baseball. Congratulations to Pete Rose. He's going to get to go to the Hall of Fame. I think that's. Look, man. If you're gonna ban people for certain stuff, you got to ban everybody. If you're gonna let people in, put down the story in there. There's no way that you can tell there's no way you can tell the story of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose. You just can't. Whether it's good or bad, I think he's paid his dues. The man is gone now. Let him in the Hall of Fame. Let him in the Hall of Fame. I think he would have liked it while he was here, but I was tired of it, man. Let this man in. And some of these guys that you think may not deserve to be in, we'll never let them in. The Barry Bondses and the Mark McGuires and all of that. Let these guys in, but put it in there. They played at a time because everybody was juicing. Sammy Sosa, all them cats. So, you got him for gambling. Okay, he was ostracized for decades. The man is gone now. Let the man rest in peace and give him his flowers. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I like it. Russ, what do you think?
I agree with you on that. I do. I mean, he was a great baseball player. Obviously, he made a wrong decision, and that decision cost him big time, right? And all of a sudden, like years later now, MLB comes back and says, you know what, we're going to reinstate you. And I mean,
shout out to Jay Will, by the way.
Yeah, so I like what you're saying there, Marcus. I would agree with that. The guy, he's already paid his dues. He's paid his price. I think he's learned from it. And I think it was a great move by MLB to allow him to come back, at least to get him into the Hall of Fame. He was a great baseball player. I mean, put all that aside, he was a great baseball player. And he just made a mistake. But we all make mistakes, But unfortunately, when you're Pete Rose and you're on that platform, your mistake, it's out there. So I would agree with you 100% on that.
My grandmother told me in 1998 that they would let him in after he died. She prophesied that. Yeah, I think he's gone. He wasn't invited. He wasn't invited to like the All-Star games and stuff like that. I mean, like you just basically took him out of the history of the game. I didn't really like that, and
right.
I think I would prefer if they would have did it while he was alive, but unfortunately, he passed away before that. So, let the man rest and give him his flowers. They're doing it for for shoeless Joe Jackson as well, and I believe they put into rule something about doing it only after death. Okay, that's fine. I mean, but I just think that I would like to have seen him get this before
He passed away.
He's dead and he don't know that he's in now. Okay, yeah, I'm just saying, give people their flowers while they're alive. It's over. Let it ride. So I want to know.
There we go. You ain't even let me say nothing about the brother thing. But I will say I'm
not gonna mention no names or nothing. But there's a guy on this panel right here who interviewed the first pick of the Buffalo Bills from this past draft from April. It wasn't me and it wasn't Russ, so I don't know who else it could be. But their initials are Andre the Torch Robinson. You going to tell us about this, or are you gonna keep it close to the vest, or what? What's up with that?
All right. So listen, Mike's the alphabets. You do this at least once a show, okay? Now I gotta hit you with it. You do it at least once a show, sir. You always do this. Always put me in a peculiar situation. But I will tell you, because you guys are so faithful in watching, I will tell you the full, exclusive, unadulterated story behind how that happened. So, as everybody knows, I work as an investigative manager for a company called Bass Pro. Everybody know who Bass Pro is. It's worldwide, regardless. And just so happened, this just fell on my lap, by the way. God is good. But not good for what happened. So the Bills players, all the Bills players from the first round, from the draft, were staying at a hotel that's real close nearby where I work. And just so happened they were on the bus. Some of them were on the bus, and some of them had just got dropped off at the hotel. But they were going to Orchard Park to the facility so they could work out. And the driver of the bus hit a boat.
What? He hit a boat?
The driver of the boat, the driver of the bus hit a boat. Now, you know Bass Pro sells boats, and their boats are outside in the back. And the driver hit the boat. Well, who gets called? Me, of course, because I run the safety department. So I get called, and I go in the back, and what do I find out? It's Buffalo Bills players on the bus. So I'm like, all right, well, got to do my routine, investigate, blah, 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 find out what's going on this bus. Everybody good? What damage was done? Yada, yada, yada. Just so happened I'm on the bus and I'm checking it out. And I hear some conversations. They all talking to me. Hey, what's going on? Yada, yada, yada. And Maxwell Harrison is in the back of the bus and comes to the front of the bus and introduces himself to me as if like I haven't seen him already and then did my research on this guy. So we had a conversation. A very nice conversation. Very cool conversation. I got to learn a lot about him. His experiences in Kentucky and what his experiences like before he got to Kentucky and what kind of player he was and just different things. So I asked him a few questions. And this will also be in the Challenger News, by the way. You can read this online. I'm going to put the article online. Number one, he was shocked that he was a first-round draft pick, by the way. The guy is very humble, very confident in his abilities, being the fastest corner in the draft, by the way. is not something he was looking to do. He was just looking to set a goal. His goal was 4.29, and he got that goal, 4.29, which I thought was very phenomenal. Showed a lot of humility in his response about, he wasn't really trying to be the fastest. He just was trying to set his own personal goal. That's cool. Sometimes you got to keep things in close for yourself, personal. Not everything is to be judged by the outer world, which was cool. And he did it. And he ended up being the fastest corner in the draft. I also asked him who was his toughest matchups in college. And I quote, I will say the unadulterated version. He said, "Them white boys in college, nice." He said Ricky Pearsall, Labe McConkey, and he said a guy that my Green Bay Packers drafted in the first round, which is Matthew Golden. All three of those, he said, was his toughest challenges in college. I was kind of surprised at his responses, because I'm like, dude, you play in the SEC. I'm like, you've played so many teams, and he named Ricky Pearsall, interesting. Labe McConkey, interesting, very interesting, and then Matthew Golden, who Marcus Betts should know is right down there where he currently is, from Texas. So, yeah. Very interesting.
Matthew Golden is real nice. I think he's going to fit very well with your Packers. I think he automatically goes to that team and he's y'all's number one. That's how nice he is.
To say the least, the conversation was good. Now, I gave y'all a little spoiler on the conversation. If you want the rest of the conversation, you're going to have to go to challengenews.com to get the rest of it, because I ain't giving it all to you in one take. But just know that some other conversations was had, as such as who do you want to pick off first? Who do you think your toughest challenge will be in the NFL? Who are you looking to shut down? Yeah, we had some interesting conversations, okay? So you will get all that in the article coming up. Read it. It'll be out this Thursday coming up. All right. Now, moving on. Is he a Smurf? No, he's not a Smurf. He is 6 foot and above. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Do he look smaller to me? Yes, I'm 6'8". I'm sorry. Like most typical 6'2", 6'3" would kind of look Smurfish to me, but he's not a Smurf. I'll just put that out there. By the way, I cannot wait to actually get to see people in person coming up this next NFL draft. I think the next NFL draft with everybody coming together is going to be a riot. We're going to have too much fun. We're going to have way too much fun. I can see, because Marcus already going to have me dying, because his personality all in itself is going to have me dying. Then Melissa, then you got everybody else who's supposed to be coming. Like, I feel like this is going to be
we are
a whole lot
what
of
is
fun.
this? This is May. We are 11 months away from the draft in Pittsburgh. You need to come down too, Russell K. We're gonna be.
I will actually. I'm actually going to be in New York around that time. So Pittsburgh's only about 4 hours away. So yeah.
During the draft next year, we're already kind of planning it.
Yeah,
we're planning we're gonna do like a meet and greet. Melissa said, "How tall are you, Dre?" Man, you know you ain't nothing but
I'm 6'8".
You 5'5". You 5'5".
Shit.
Well,
I'm 5'5" sitting down, Marcus. What the hell are you talking about? 5'5" sitting down.
Right.
Now, let's get to some of the sports stuff before we get into the schedule, because we're going to talk about the schedule. By the way, Marcus the Alphabet, Russell K, for the next couple of weeks, we will be breaking down team schedules by division. I'm gonna put that out there right now. We are going to break down NFL team schedules by division, starting with the AFC East first and working all the way down. All right. So that's 8 weeks. We're gonna be talking about these teams. 8 weeks. All right. Well, let's start here. Sir, Brock Purdy just got paid $53.5 million. Here is a fun fact for those who do not know. Super Bowl wins by the highest paid quarterbacks. Here's your top 10. Know what's funny? None of them have a Super Bowl.
Not a
Super Bowl in sight. Not a Super Bowl in sight. Dak Prescott, 60 million. Jordan Love, 55. Trevor Lawrence. We talked about Trevor Lawrence. Me and Marcus is dying laughing about the Jaguars situation. Marcus, go ahead and give them a little insight on this Jacksonville situation real quick about how we.
Jacksonville moved up from 5 to 2 to get Travis Hunter, who I put up. Y'all make sure y'all go to y'all are in the Alphabets Football Show Facebook page. I put up some video today of Travis Hunter running routes today. He's terrible. He's going to have to refine that like real quick. But they moved up from 5 to 2 to get him, and they gave the Browns their first round pick next year. Where do we think that Jacksonville? Where do we think that Jacksonville? What's their record going to be next year? Where are they going to be picking in the draft next year?
Bottom 5 again.
What would you say that the Jacksonville Jaguars record will be next year?
Bottom 5. It don't matter what the record is. They're gonna be bottom 5.
I think
4, 5, 6 games tops.
Maybe 5 games tops.
Okay, so they're going to be picking in the top 5 again next year, and the Cleveland Browns get their pick. They may be the worst team in the league. I actually think it's going to be the Saints. I think the Saints are going to be god awful. But you're going to be probably picking in the top 5, and you're going to get Jacksonville. The Cleveland Browns are going to get their pick, plus they're going to have Jacksonville's pick, which is going to be in the top 5. It might be the number 1 overall pick for Travis Hunter. And you may have, and you're paying Trevor Lawrence $55 million, and you would have had the opportunity to draft one Arch Manning. So they took a big risk getting him. That's a big risk. But this just goes to show you right here, you know, for all of those analytics people out there, your quarterback, you better try to win while he's on his rookie deal. I think that's what this shows here. These are the top 10, highest paid quarterbacks. None of them have Super Bowl rings. And it really kind of limits what you can do around your quarterback. It kind of limits it. So really for that first 4 or 5 years, if you get that 5th-year option, you better get a Super Bowl. So you look at the guys that are coming up in the next few years, the CJ Strouds, he's still in his rookie deal. Maybe Jayden Daniels, maybe Bo Nix, maybe Drake May. I don't really see it. But like CJ Stroud's going to be up there, and you're talking $55 to $60 million. And once these guys come up, you're probably going to be looking at $62 to $65 million. So it just goes to show you the pattern here that once you start paying your quarterback, it makes it really difficult. Now, we just saw the San Francisco 49ers. They got their team gutted, man. And they're still paying people. Fred Warner's the highest paid linebacker now. He's making $29 million. Christian McCaffrey's a top 3 paid running back. Brandon Ayuk's a top 3 paid wide receiver. Well, I think he's like top 5 now because the guy's in front of him now. But Trent Williams is top 3 paid left tackle. So you gotta. When your quarterback's on that rookie deal, you better make a move, and you better surround him with everything you can. You kind of see what the Washington Commanders are doing. They went out, got Deebo Samuel and Marshawn Lattimore and, Austin Eckler and You know, you gotta Laramie Tunsil. They picked up Laramie Tunsil, so you gotta go do it, man. So I think that slide really kind of illustrates just how critical, you know, that quarterback number is, because it really takes a toll. I would like to see them maybe not include the quarterback on your salary cap, because it just $60 million, $60 million. That's a lot of money, man. Brock Purdy, $53 billion. You got Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, 0 playoff wins, and he's like the second highest paid quarterback in the league. So we'll see what happens. Brock Purdy, is he overrated or not after $275 million and signed Fred Warner too? But San Francisco did awful. Is he overrated? Well, San Francisco don't think so.
Yeah,
Jets
exactly.
will be bad. I think the Colts will be bad. I'm biting my tongue. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Brock Purdy, I don't know, man. I think I just that's crazy. And then they just paid Fred Warner today. He's the highest paid inside linebacker in NFL history. He just signed his contract today.
Wow.
My problem about Texans, I don't like they fired.
So Marcus,
Yeah.
So Marcus, go back to the whole Jacksonville. Who'd you say Jacksonville from 5 to 2? Who got their picks?
The Browns. They traded with the Browns were sitting at 2. The Browns were sitting at 2, and Jacksonville moved from 5 to 2 to grab Travis Hunter.
Okay. So do you think that the Cleveland Browns are smart?
I think that yes. Look, we have barbecued their ass, justifiably so, with the Deshaun Watson trade. That will go down as one of the dumbest trades in history. But we have to also give credit when people do well. For you to get a first round pick, which we said is probably going to be a top 5 pick next year, just to move back 3 spots, and you still got. Let's not forget the Browns they drafted. Who did they draft with that number 5 pick? Mason Graham, who a lot of people considered the best interior defensive tackle in this draft. So you're getting Mason. You go and get 2 good running backs. You get rid of Nick Chubb. You go get Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State. You go get Dylan Sampson at running back. You get Shadur Sanders in the 5th round. In the 5th round, who a lot of people had going in the 1st round, you get him in the 5th round. And we talked about that contract. You know how much his contract is? It's like $8 million. That's the total contract.
Wow.
He made more money. He made more money in college than he will his entire first 4 years in the NFL.
And he might get cut by the Browns too. I mean, he fell in the quarterback rating for the quarterbacks of the Browns. I guess reports are there's a simple drill they did. He couldn't even do the simple drill, and a lot of Browns fans are going crazy over that. So, there's talk right now that he might even get cut.
I've heard he's looked good. I heard the person that looked bad was Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, I mean, there's conflicting reports, but reports are that he's not doing so well in Cleveland, and he fell on the depth chart. He fell, so we'll see how that works out. But I'm surprised he less than the 5th round. I mean, that's just crazy.
I think what the Browns did. I think what the Browns did is pretty damn good. To just move back 3 spots and then to get that pick like that. I think that was an awesome move. And what they're trying to do is protect their quarterbacks. We're going to go get 2 of the best running backs. There are some people that thought that Quinshon Judkins was the 2nd or 3rd best back in this draft. A lot of people had Omarion Hampton. I think everybody, the consensus number 1 was Ashton Jeanty. But after that, maybe Omarion Hampton too. And right after that, whether it was the two Ohio State running backs, Travion Henderson or Judkins, you got him. And then you got Dylan Sampson, who a lot of people compare to Alvin Kamara. You got both of them. They got some pieces. We tease about the Browns, but really, what has been the Browns' issue? What has been their issue since they've come back into the league? Quarterback.
Hey, Marcus.
We're back.
Hey, Marcus. Hey,
Yeah.
Marcus.
Yeah.
I got something special for you. You literally on the show said that the Cleveland Browns was smart. Well, Marcus, here it
No,
comes,
I'm saying, hang on. No, I'm saying hang on. Let me preface what I'm saying, because I always have to for them to move back 3 spots, to move from 2 to 5, and to not get Travis Hunter. Okay, you didn't get Travis Hunter. You ended up getting the best interior defensive lineman in Mason Graham. Okay, so you still, it's not like you got some scrub. You still stayed in the top 5, and then to pick up a first next year, Jacksonville's first, who we think, we just said here, we're like, where do we think Jacksonville's picking next year? Top 5? And you got their pick just so you can move back 3 spots? I think that's brilliant. Then you said, okay, we suck at drafting quarterbacks. The Browns have sucked at drafting quarterbacks. So what are we through? We go and throw we're going to go draft 2 quarterbacks. And we're going to bring back Joe Flacco. And we're going to go get Kenny Pickett. And we're going to let them fight it out. And guess what? If all of these quarterbacks suck, which is possible because they're the Cleveland Browns and they could burn a glass of ice water if you didn't give them the recipe. If it doesn't work out, I have 2 first-round picks and a very high pick, at least Jacksonville's pick, plus my pick. So I can use that and package it and move up to the number 1 pick. So, yes, what Cleveland did was really smart as compared to what they normally do, because they're a bunch of dumbasses normally. I think that's really smart. You don't think that it's smart to move back 3 spots and get an extra first-round pick?
Hey, Marcus.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
I got to hit you with this. Russell, this is just for you, by the way, and Marcus.
So bad.
Let's hear it.
Marcus, go ahead and read that for me.
This is a friendly reminder. The Houston Oilers, who are no longer in the NFL franchise and went out of existence 24 years ago, have won a division more recently than the Cleveland Browns.
For all those who just read that, I heard Marcus read that.
Okay, but that slot is not really technically accurate. Is really not.
Not accurate.
Because okay, if you're talking about the new Cleveland Browns, so 25 years, okay, but who are really the old Cleveland Browns? Who's the old Cleveland Browns? The Baltimore Ravens. So technically, yes, but the old and that team has 2 Super Bowls in the past 25 years, 2000 and that second one they got, that 2000 Ravens team. So technically, technically,
been around for 25 years. I don't care what you said, sir. The Houston Oilers literally been non-existent for 24 years and got more division titles than the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, you wouldn't tell me about smart. You know what? You know what I call that? Basuda. Spanish with me.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with you. The Cleveland Browns have been a clown organization. I agree with you.
And totally clown around and mess this up too. They gonna clown around.
Maybe, but for them to move back 3 spots and get another first-round pick that's going to be a top 5 pick next year, I think that's genius.
You know what, Marcus? You know what? I would say it was smart if it was any other damn team. This team know how. This team know how to mess up.
You got to give people. You got to give people credit. You got to give people credit. Look, you laugh. We laugh about stuff. You know who else we used to laugh at? The Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions ain't no joke now. You know who else we used to laugh about? The Buffalo Bills when y'all went like
Hey,
20 years without winning the playoff
You
game.
were still laughing.
And still laugh.
So I mean, eventually, and I know it's the Browns. I think there's only been 2 teams that go 0-16. You know, the Browns and the Lions. Yes, they've been the Browns have been a terrible organization, but I like what they did in this draft. I thought it was very smart.
You think they'll be in the playoffs this year, Marcus?
Huh?
You think the Browns will be in the playoffs?
No. No. But they'll be better. They'll be better. But no, I don't think that, because I think that the AFC West, just like last year, I think that the AFC West could send 3 teams. I think the AFC the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Chiefs and the Broncos ain't no joke, man. They ain't no joke. I think you could possibly have 2 teams from the AFC North. I think you could have the Ravens and the Bengals in the playoffs. So no, I don't think the Browns, not this year. But I think for them that move that they made, I thought that was a really smart move. Let me see here. Brown, no championship since there was the Super Bowl back, like Jim Brown, running back in championship, not named for the Super Bowl. Very unwise for Cleveland. I think it was smart. The Browns have historically been bad, but the move is positioned for a very high pick next year, a strong quarterback. Yes, exactly. You got to think like long term. They've got the ammunition. If this thing so check this out. Okay, we're laughing, but okay, let's play a little hypothetical. I don't like to do a lot of hypothetical, but let's do a hypothetical. Let's say Shedeur Sanders ends up being good. Okay? Let's say Shedeur, you got your franchise quarterback in the 5th round. You got a number 1 receiver. I think Jerry Jeudy's pretty good. I think David Njoku's pretty good. They're tied in. He's a 1st-round pick. You got 2 good running backs in Judkins and Sampson. On defense, you got one of the best edge rushers, if not the best edge rusher in the game. You got the best defensive tackle in this draft. You got one of the best shutdown corners in the league in Denzel Ward. And then you got 2 first-round picks next year, and you don't have to use your picks on a quarterback. I'm just saying that you can get good really fast. You can get good really fast like that.
Marcus.
Yeah.
And all I'm gonna tell you is all I hear is
okay. You're okay. All right. I'm just saying. You know, it's very once you get high draft pick. Look how fast the Bengals got good. They got Joe Burrow at number 1, and you got Jamar Chase at 5. Next thing you know, your team is taking off and they're in the Super Bowl. Just like that, because you got 2 really high picks. You get Joe Burrow, you get Jamar Chase, you already had T. Higgins. Bam, your team's in the Super Bowl. So when you get picks like that, you can turn your team around really fast. And like I said, if neither one of these quarterbacks, team take a nosedive. Who taking those? Huh?
The Bengals.
They had injuries. They had injuries. And the thing about it, Joe Burrow has missed 2 seasons. One, he tore his ACL, and the other one, he tore up his wrist.
Mm-hmm. So they had injuries the last 2 years when they didn't make the playoffs.
Okay. Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl his 2nd season.
That's great. And there's those guys. Listen, they about to 3. I said the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm gonna put this on wax right now. Okay. The Cincinnati Bengals are gonna 3-peat for the wrong reason. They're gonna miss the playoffs again. For the 3rd.
No, they won't.
3rd.
No, they won't.
Oh, okay.
No, they won't.
All right.
No, they
So So then, are you saying 3 teams from the NFC North is going to the playoffs this year? From the AFC North? What you saying?
I just said they might. They just might.
You're saying
Okay,
3?
so okay.
No.
We did NFC.
Hold on, let me ask the question for the world. Let me ask the question for the world.
Okay.
What division are you more confident in that will have 3 teams in the playoffs? The AFC West or the AFC North? Let me ask that question now. Go ahead.
The West.
Yeah, that's it. But here's the thing about it. Hang on. We're relying on. Okay, hang on. Can we agree? Come on. Can we agree that CJ Stroud took a step back last year?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Guess who's also going into their second? And that was his second year, right? He was
Correct.
the offensive rookie of the year, right?
This is year
If
3.
I would have told you last year at the beginning of the season that CJ Stroud was going to look like dumpster juice in his second season, would you have believed me after him coming off the offensive rookie of the year? It ain't written in the stars that Bo Nix is going to have another great year. Because let's remember, who's been the king of the AFC West?
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, that's what division he plays in. They're not in a cupcake division where they just get an automatic 5 wins every year. 5-1, 6-0 every year.
Yeah, no, I think this is stop shucking and jiving. Marcus, the alphabet is shucking and jiving with all this extra talk right now. Answer the question, sir. Answer the question. Are you which are you more confident in? Because, sir, do not make me go get receipts and pull
ask
up.
me who I have more faith in, the Denver Broncos or the Cincinnati Bengals, the LA Charger or the Cincinnati Bengals. Ask me who I have more faith in with healthy.
Who you got more
the
faith
team that's been to the team that went to that just went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago and was one play and was one slip from Jamar Chase away from beating the Rams. That's the team that I have more confidence
Marcus,
in.
you finna turn me into Hulk Hogan when he get put on his ass and he get back up and he do this. You are
the AFC West. The only team that I have. Look, I think the AFC West is incredible. But if you talk about resume,
how many times shows have you
has done Russell K? Russell K. Who has been to the Super Bowl in the past 5 years, and who hasn't? How did the Bengals lose that Super Bowl, Russell K?
That is why I can't believe you right now.
It's so close. They should have actually won that game. You're right. I agree.
That's what I'm saying. And when Joe Burrow's healthy, when Joe
I
Burrow,
agree with them though, Torch. I mean, you're right. I mean, Cincinnati should have won
Russell
that.
K. Marcus is about real close from telling the truth, which still means his ass is lying.
I want to talk about Pete Carroll with the Las Vegas Raiders.
I can't believe you. You won't sit here a lot like that and say you more confident in this.
No, I think Marcus. I mean, Cincinnati should have won that game in Super Bowl. They should have won. I agree with you, man.
Who did Joe Burrow beat to go to the Super Bowl? Do y'all remember the year that he went to the Super Bowl? Who did he go through to get to the Super Bowl?
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, go ahead and tell me right now. I can tell you, but you go ahead. He beat Josh Allen and then Patrick Mahomes to go to the Super Bowl. He beat Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes to go to the Super Bowl. So you ask me who I have more faith in? I have more faith in Joe Brees.
All that being said, hold on, watch this. And with all that being said, investigation. How we investigating that guy?
Russell K. What quarterbacks have beaten Josh Allen at home in the playoffs? At home at Highmark Stadium? Do you know the quarterbacks that have done that?
Hold on, watch this. You know what's so funny, Russ K? Let me. Since Marcus like dragging stuff out the bag, Marcus the Alphabet don't even believe that Trey Hendrickson is going to even get signed. He think that they gonna get tapped, and this man is sitting up here, bald face, on the damn show, over here, and tell that damn lie about he confident in the Bengals. Sir, the Bengals ain't the same team they was 2 seasons ago. With that no defense college football having.
You're
No.
right. And that no defense, and that no defense team went into Buffalo and Josh Allen didn't score a touchdown. How about that? Joe Burrow went to Buffalo. That was the game you were at, right? That was the game that you were at with your Buffalo Bills. With your Buffalo Bills, you had your whole Buffalo Bills. You had your Buffalo Bills scarf on there. You were all dressed up in the big old wool cap. Huh? You were there for that game, weren't you? How many touchdowns did Josh Allen score in that game? How many?
Go ahead and answer.
No, you answer it. What? You were at the game. Were you at the game when Cincinnati went into Buffalo? Joe Burrow went into there, and Josh Allen didn't throw a touchdown. That Joe Burrow, the former Heisman Trophy winner.
I heard a commercial come on say, "Watch NHL games." I'm sorry, I wasn't.
People have short memories.
We are not buying that. We ain't buying that.
You don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it. Joe Burrow
have defense when they beat the Bills.
Joe Burrow went into Buffalo and into.
Right. Tell him to answer the question. Tell him to answer.
I'm just saying. I asked you. You could even ask the question. Who did Joe Burrow beat to go to the Super Bowl, Torch?
You know who he beat.
No, you tell me. You said, why don't you tell our audience? You live in Buffalo.
I was there for the worst. Hold on, watch this. I was there for the absolute worst playoff game I've ever seen in my entire life. I was there. They couldn't even show DeMar Hamlin's face correctly at the game. He just came back. And we was all like, what kind of shot is that? Nobody seen his face. People thought he was cloned. Anyway, the answer is Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes when Joe Burrow had a defense. What Joe Burrow doesn't have is a defense. And it's the reason why I don't give a damn how many excuses you want to make. Injuries, I don't give a damn that last 2 years, the Bengals have been non-apparent when it comes to the playoffs. And guess what? They ain't gonna listen. They're gonna be like Austin Powers' father again this year when it comes to the playoffs. Not to be seen again, sir. You always here on wax. Make sure, Russell. What time is it right now? 11:24.
11:24.
Mark is the alphabet. Mr. Friday Night Lights, Mr. Football himself on Friday nights, coming on his damn show, creating all type of madness and havoc. Talking about
I'm just saying, y'all need to give the Bengals their props. Because let me tell you, when the Bengals are healthy.
Hold on, ask him what 2 teams went to the playoffs last year. Go ahead and ask him.
That's fine.
What? Matter of fact, wait a minute.
The thing that make you laugh or make you cry. You know what? You're the same one. You're the same one every year. You're the same one every year. When the Bills beat the Chiefs. When the Bills beat the Chiefs in regular season, you're doing backflips and having a good old time. And then guess what? Whenever the Chiefs come and whip that ass again, and y'all got every excuse under the sun, y'all got more excuses than a pregnant nun. It's the refs and it's the possession thing, and an asteroid hit the planet and somebody got hurt or whatever. Y'all got a lot of excuses.
Marcus, that rhetoric is about as old as a Carmen San Diego episode. Now, get on out of here with that. That old ass rhetoric. Marcus, what doesn't is that, hold on, count it with me, Russ. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Teams from the AFC West to the playoffs last year.
3. That's true.
So you sit up here trying to tell me that you more confident that the Bengals is making the playoffs?
If I would have told you last year, Russell K., if I would have told you last year that the San Francisco 49ers that were in the Super Bowl the year before, that they wouldn't even make the playoffs. Would you believe me?
No,
That
I
they
thought
wouldn't
he was
even
great.
make the playoffs. I don't give a damn
thought
what
he
you
was
did
great.
last year. I don't give a damn what you did last year. The Cincinnati
Not with all that
Bengals, when they are at full strength and full power, the Cincinnati Bengals are a threat. Now, if you ask me what I think about their defense, I think their defense got more holes than Swiss cheese. Okay, got it. But that offense, that Bengals offense is might be the best in the league. Because again, who are you going to double team? Jamar Chase, the best wide receiver in the league?
Marcus Harry, thank you. Again, tell him, please tell Marcus the alphabet why he's sitting up here lying to the general public over here talking about something. He's more confident in the Bengals.
What it is.
It's like being confident in the Cowboys making the Super Bowl this year too. Come on, bro. Ain't nobody buying that shit. Ain't nobody buying that New York City.
We got the Cowboys will be just fine. And as a matter of fact, don't we play the Packers this year?
The Cowboys.
Don't we play the Packers this year?
Hold on. I know. Wait a minute. Time out. Marcus, here you go again. I know you don't want to know with the Packers.
Hang on, I gotta respond to this comment. I gotta respond to this comment real quick. Marcus, don't backpedal. You even said the Chiefs should have gotten calls on them when they did, bro. Come on now. And guess what? No, what it is Ricky Graves. Here's where you need to not backpedal. Buffalo Bills fans out there, y'all can spin it whatever way that you want. The Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs just have the Buffalo Bills number. The Kansas City Chiefs have the Buffalo Bills number. You know who didn't care about the officiating in the Super Bowl? You know who didn't care about the Kansas City Chiefs getting calls? You know who didn't care? The Eagles, because the Eagles went out there and put their fists in their eye socket. That's why y'all got some mental issues, issues to get over playing against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Marcus going the therapy route. He going to the Bills need some therapy. Jamar Chase won the triple crown last year. I think that discussion. Who would you rather have, Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase.
Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, you crazy as hell. Hold on, wait a minute. See, here we go again. Marcus the alphabet. You sitting here lying again to the general public because Jamar Chase 1 year last year. Who was answer the question. Who was people saying was the best wide receiver for
a lot of people?
Seasons?
There were some people that were saying that Tyreek Hill was the best wide receiver. I didn't think he was the best.
I got to hear with Tyreek Hill. His quarterback is 15. Listen, y'all, I wanted to show you this list, but it's too small. The print is too small on the damn show, so I didn't go there. But
put up right now. Put up right now. Top 10 wide receivers in the league. Pull it up right now. And who did they have? I'm telling you right now, and a lot of it has to do with fantasy football. I can guarantee you. Russell K, do you play fantasy football? Do you play fantasy football?
I do.
Okay. If you had the number one pick, come on now, we're gonna have some real talk here. If you had the number one pick, who are you taking with the number one pick, Russell K? Because Dre I'm telling you, as a fantasy football player, you got the number one pick in the fantasy football draft. Who are you taking? Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson?
Justin Jefferson. Oh, well, you know what? That's going to change now because the Minnesota Vikings don't got no quarterback. So that's a wrap. It's a wrap for that.
I'm taking
Jamar Chase. I'm taking Chase. Chase is on the case. I got to take him because Minnesota ain't got no damn quarterback.
How do you win the triple crown unless you're the best, unless you're not the most catches, most yards, and most touchdowns of any receiver last year? He won the triple crown last year.
Yeah. Hey, you want to know how you win the triple crown?
How's that?
When your defense on and off the field very quickly because teams have scored touchdowns super fast on them, and you got 11 possessions per game. That's all. That's all. What we talking? Get your ass out of here with the bullshit. He over here thinking he's slick. He swear he's slick. Let Marcus gas you, bro. He better have the triple crown as much offense was on that field. That offense was on the field every damn 30 seconds.
That is true. I can't even front.
But
even before that, dude had like he have like a 1,900 yard season. Jamar Chase is just, in my opinion, and look, it's your flavor. What's your flavor? I say Rocky Road, you say butter pecan. But when I look at the tape, and that's no slight to Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Jefferson is incredible. But Jamar Chase, when I see him take a slant, a 5-yard slant, bust it back outside and outrun everybody down the field, he's a different cat, man.
Shit, he better. But I tell you what.
So that's what we're doing. Justin. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. When people pick and choose, this is what I'm talking. So Marcus Aaron says Jamar Chase is in a worse division. Jefferson in a better division. Okay, so did that apply to Josh Allen in the AFC East? When we talk about quarterbacks? No, if that's the argument you want to use, what's a better division? The AFC North where Lamar Jackson plays, or the AFC East where see, I got your ass. I just got your ass. What's a better division? What's Russell K? What's a better division? The AFC East or the AFC North? What's a better overall division? Because y'all be talking, Josh Allen, he's undefeated against Tua. He's really good you're playing against Mac Jones and Zach Wilson twice a year, and Tua, who's one concussion away from Samoan heaven. Okay, so if you're gonna use that argument, that's fine. Oh, he plays in a better. Okay, so does Lamar Jackson play in a better division as a quarterback? Call me in.
Answer your question, right?
His argument was the reason that Justin Jefferson is better is because he plays in a tougher division. Okay, so is Lamar Jackson a better quarterback because he plays in a better division than Josh Allen?
No.
I'm just saying that's his argument.
Josh Allen is better than Lamar Jackson. I mean, come on. I mean,
is it?
Yeah, I believe. Well, yeah. Last year, Josh Allen wins his first MVP of the year.
Okay, who had better numbers? Who had better numbers?
Lamar caller on the line.
Who had better numbers, Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen last year?
They were pretty similar.
No, not pretty similar. Not pretty similar. Who had better numbers? Who had better numbers last year, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson? Come on now, we're gonna have a conversation. I need you to take your Bills homerism out of it. Who had a better season last year? If we're gonna do the numbers, MVP numbers, who had a better season last year, numbers wise, Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen?
Lamar Jackson, however, Josh Allen won the games that mattered, and they beat.
They played head to head. The Bills played the Ravens, and Lamar Jackson beat his ass straight up. So if we play, look, we can have a debate. We can have a debate all day. Who's better, Tyson or
Marcus? Wait a minute, time out. See, here you go doing it again. Last I checked, the Bills beat that ass when it mattered. So I don't want to hear none of that.
The MVP is a what award? Don't do that. The MVP is a what award?
Most
the MVP is a what award?
Russ, tell him to get that damn fake ass technicality bullshit out of here.
No.
Damn well.
Josh Allen won his first MVP. He earned that.
For this, you don't believe that yourself?
Who had a better season, Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen? Numbers wise, if we're just doing the numbers, and then a head-to-head matchup, where he beat him by 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
However,
again,
with that being said,
however,
when it came
we got a
down,
caller on the line.
It mattered the most.
Caller, hold on,
Who
watch
won
this,
that
y'all.
game? Buffalo.
He know. Well, okay, don't he know? All right, Marcus, what's up, Marcus? You on the line?
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, Mr.
What's up,
Harris?
Marcus?
What's going on, fam? How you doing? I got to hear this argument. Come on.
Everything good. Everything good. Marcus Betts, you know better than kind of call me out.
I'm always going to call you out because you be on that Buffalo Bills homerism stuff. But go ahead. I want to hear it.
No. Let me give me a minute. Let me kick it because y'all be talking over each other. Let me talk for a second since you brought it up. First, as far as with the MVP stuff, the year Lamar won it, I have documentation that everybody can pull up to. The reason he won it was because of the wins that the Baltimore Ravens team had, even though Josh had more ridiculous numbers. When you go back to last year, we ain't talking about fantasy football. We talking about the MVP, most valuable player on the team. The Bills weren't picked to even go to the playoffs. The Ravens were picked to go to the Super Bowl. Yet the Bills are the ones that was the number 2 seed that beat the Ravens when it mattered. And if you took Lamar Jackson, that team, if you took Lamar Jackson off the Ravens team, you still had a 1,900-yard running back monster in the backfield. If you took Josh Allen off the team, this was a team that they said that wasn't going to the playoffs. The Bills might have been middle of the pack, which is why Josh Allen won the MVP.
Time out. No, he's not a 1,900-yard rusher if Lamar Jackson is, because a lot of people, hang on. A lot of people, hang on. Why did James Cook have so many touchdowns? Why is that? Because he's a great running back, or because teams fear Josh Allen?
You want to go there?
Yeah, I do want to go there. How many? Hang on. The year before, Derrick Henry with his last year in. Hang on, let me talk. His last year in Tennessee. What was everybody's opinion of Derrick Henry his last year in Tennessee? Come on, if we're gonna have a real conversation.
No. Now I'm answering your question. You asked me. I'm telling you. What your keywords was in Tennessee. The difference between being in Tennessee and being in Baltimore is because of the running threat that you have with Lamar Jackson. Because you have to work on be concerned with 2 threats instead of one 250-pound running threat. That was the difference. So
and that's the same difference. That's the same difference with James Cook. How many touchdowns did James Cook have last year? How many touchdowns did James Cook have last year?
James Cook had 15 touchdowns total between running and catching the ball.
Okay, how does he get that much? Hang on. How does he get that much space to run? Why do you think that is? Because James Cook.
You just asked me a question. Let me answer it.
Okay.
You just asked me a question. Let me answer it. The reason the running backs, besides James Cook, had so many yards because the Bills' offense was exactly what they said before the season. Everybody eats. The Bills' offense, which was the number 1 offense, they scored 60 touchdowns. Everybody on this line could have scored a touchdown for the Bills because everybody got the ball. That's why that they had that, because you couldn't key on one person with the Bills' offense. That's why. Okay,
so who are you keying on? So everybody knows that Derrick Henry is going to get the ball. Everybody knows that Derrick Henry is going to get the ball, and he still had 1,900 yards. The reason why, because they played a 2-man game between him and Lamar. Because Lamar Jackson, I will give it to you. Josh is probably a better thrower of the ball, but ain't nobody better than Lamar Jackson in running the football. You are talking about a quarterback. There's been 3 men in the 104-year history of the NFL, 3 men that played the quarterback position that have run for 1,000 yards. For 1,000 yards. Okay?
My point. You're making my point even more so because of the fact that because Lamar Jackson can get 1,000 yards rushing. When you add a 250-pound dude back there, with that, the defense, you have to decide what are we going to do. If we take away one, we get the other one. The
Okay.
Derrick Henry already shown you when he was the man, he still ran the ball. So my point
Okay,
was,
and that's the same advantage that you had when you had Stephon Diggs. What was Stephon Diggs when he was there? We're talking about prime Diggs. Now, y'all always talking about all the Josh Allen with all of that. Who's the best receiver that Lamar Jackson's ever had? Ever. Where was Stephon Diggs in his prime? Where was he ranked at as far as wide receivers? We're talking about primes coming straight over from Minnesota. Was he an All-Pro? Did one year did he lead the?
I'm gonna answer your question.
Okay.
When Diggs came to, Diggs was him without question. But yet, despite the fact that let me finish my answer. Despite the fact that Diggs came over, Diggs had all these stats. Diggs was catching the ball, doing commercials, with the pom-poms, all that shit. When the Bills' offense as a team was much better was when he was gone. Because the football is about team. And when everybody do their job like they did last year, you have a record-breaking season where you hit with 13 different people catch the ball for touchdowns. So even though Diggs got his numbers, everything was cute, the Bills offensively was a whole lot better with him gone.
Okay. I don't. Were they though? Because weren't they like the highest scoring offense when he was there? They were like the highest scoring offense. So to say that they were a better team, I don't know.
No, he was not. The Bills' offense last year was on a historic pace. There was only 3 different teams in the last 25 years that had more points than the Bills' offense last year, and only one of them, was obviously the Rams, and the other one was the Patriots team. No other team was better than the Bills' offense last year. That was without Stephon Diggs.
I think the Bills were a little bit. I think the Bills were a little bit. Look, the Bills and the Ravens, they played really a different style of game. The Ravens are more of a power running team. You're doing this with a 30-year-old running back. A 30-year-old running back. If Lamar Jackson's not out there, Derrick Henry, you said, if he's not there, they still got a 1,900-yard back. No, they don't. What they would have done to Derrick Henry is what they did to him his last couple of years in Tennessee. They would have put 10 people in the box and they would have shut that shit down just like they were doing. That's what would have happened.
What happened? Bills didn't play up. No, not even close. Now you're bringing it down. Age is an issue.
He ain't getting no 1,900. Marcus. He's not getting 1,900 yards if Lamar Jackson's not playing with him. He's not. So to say that's just not true. Defenses would have played them totally different. That RPO, when they're running that 2-man game, when they had TJ Watt on skates, every time they would run that read option and TJ Watt would just crash in to try to get Derrick Henry, and then Lamar Jackson would take off. He's not getting 1,900 yards without Lamar Jackson, because Lamar Jackson is maybe him and maybe Michael Vick are the 2 greatest running quarterbacks of all time. So no, he's not getting 1,900 yards. It's just not happening.
How many all-pro players was on the Ravens team? This team last year.
I don't know off the top of my head. Do you know?
Okay. Well, yeah, I kind of do. Let's just say it was a lot more than the Bills. And the thing that I said earlier that I'm going to go back to and reemphasize on.
Okay.
Before the season, the Bills were not supposed to make the playoffs. The Ravens were already
before the season, the Washington Commanders weren't supposed to make the playoffs. Shit happens.
The Ravens were already predicted.
Did you have the Washington Commanders in the NFC Championship at the beginning of the season? That's the thing about football. It happens. Did you have the Washington Commanders in the NFC Championship at the beginning of the season? I don't care about expectations. They came out and they played well. The Washington Commanders, no one had to watch. Russell K, did you have the Washington Commanders with a rookie quarterback going to the NFC Championship? So I don't care what their expectations were.
They were surprised.
The quarterback played a lot better than anybody expected. That's why.
Okay.
But what happened was, let's not deflect from the AFC, because you already. The key was because Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis was gone, and they had all these changes on defense. All the veteran stalwarts on defense was gone. That's when they said the Bills, because the Bills don't have anybody else left, they was going to be third. Yet, what happened?
Okay. They overachieved. They
Back to the
overachieved.
You talk about the numbers. You talk about the numbers and everything. That when if you take Josh Allen is not on the field, the Bills are a whole lot worse than Lamar Jackson off the field for the Ravens.
I don't know. Because I think the AFC East is one of the worst divisions in the league. Can we agree to that? Can we at least agree to that the AFC East is one of the worst divisions in the league after maybe the AFC South? Come on now. You're the only team in your division. No other team in your Marcus. No other team in your division. No other team in your division had a winning record. Come on, Marcus. Come on now. We got to have real talk. If we're going to have a debate, we got to keep it real.
Hold on. Miami had a winning record last year.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. Miami went to the what?
Not last year.
The Miami Dolphins went to the playoffs last year, sir.
Not this past year. You're talking 2 seasons ago. No other team in the. Remember, there were 3 teams. There were 3 teams. How did the Miami Dolphins go and there was 3 teams from the AFC West? That was 2 years ago, Torch. No other team in the AFC East had a winning record.
All right, you're right. I'm sorry. Miami.
No, he's correct. No, my point now, I'm getting to is you make it seem like.
No, he's right. Miami went 2 seasons ago. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
But I'm saying that you're talking about the Bills, so you're trying to say the Bills only beat Bums?
What I'm saying is you have a easier path when you automatically start off 6-0 because you play against Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, and broke up ass Tua. You have a easier path to the playoffs. That is what I'm saying. Now I'm not saying that you just play bums, but when you play, you got smoked by the Ravens, and then you barely beat a Chiefs team that was missing their top 3 playmakers.
We're not going with the barely stuff. You win or lose.
Okay.
We're not doing that.
It's always
because if you go there, and I say, well, you lost by a block field. The Chiefs won by a block field goal to Denver. I'm not going to go there because it's the won or loss.
You're not that's the thing that you have to understand, though. You're not the Chiefs. You're comparing yourself. The Chiefs have proven that they can do it, and the Buffalo Bills have proved that you can never win. That's what y'all are proving. With Jim Kelly, with Josh Allen, that's what y'all are proving. You get in the big games, you get in big games, and you find a way to lose. Whether it's 13 seconds, whether it's at home, whether it's on the road, whether it's in Kansas City, whether it's at home and you get to host them. That's what you prove. You don't get the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not going to overtalk you, because if we go back and forth with this, you're right. The Chiefs, until Philly just whooped their ass, the Chiefs have been the team.
Yes.
But we're talking about the Bills being trash, the Bills only beating bum teams. The Bills had the most. So happy.
What happened? Did he
hung up.
Tell him to call back. Me and Marcus, we're gonna have to have the Marcus and Marcus show. We're already at 2 hours. I know the RPO is dangerous. I'll give you that, Marcus. Marcus, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah. Put him back. I can barely hear him, Torch. I want to hear him talk. I like hearing Marcus talk. Go ahead, Marcus. I'm listening.
No, well, I'm saying, we was talking about, you said off the Bills, the schedule, and being easier. Well, I'll tell you this. Nobody had that energy when New England was beating up this doodle-ass schedule.
But guess what? You're right. But guess what, New England? You're right. But guess what New England did? They closed the deal, and y'all can't. Can we agree to that?
Well, here's also a difference, too. Back then, it was the number 1 and number 2 seed had buys. So there was always one less game for them to play. That's not the case now.
The bottom line is they would win the number 1 seed because they played, and you're right. It was a terrible division then, and they use that to their advantage when
They don't
Pittsburgh
play-
and Baltimore were beat.
They
When
had one
Pittsburgh-
less game back there. They had an easier
Okay.
schedule. They had one less game, which is why it's important for the Bills to get the number 1 seed, because now the number 2 seed actually plays that extra game that back then the Patriots did not when they were 1 or 2. So that playing that extra playoff game, or less playoff game rather, plays a role in helping you get to the Super Bowl. So if the Bills get the number 1 seed this year, they go to the Super Bowl and finally close the deal.
Okay, we'll
And
see.
Rodgers-
We'll have this. We'll have. If I would have told you with those 4 Super Bowl losses that somewhere in between the last Super Bowl that you lost and now that you would have won a Super Bowl, that you would.
You bring
I
up
didn't hear what you
bullshit. I
Look,
said you bring up shit. I'm hearing that shit.
look, until you actually do it, you can say what. Well, if we get this, the bottom line is you've been in the league since 1960, you ain't won. That's what it is. And it's always something that comes up, whether it's the 13 seconds game or then I hear the complaints about, oh, well, if we ever get a game, we always have to play the Chiefs in the playoffs. Well, the Chiefs came there and kicked your ass. Oh, if we get the Bengals here, the Bengals went to Buffalo and kicked your ass. So the bottom line is your history says, long-term history and short-term history, is that the Buffalo Bills will find a way to lose. That's what it shows. That's just what it is.
You always bringing up old shit. When
I'm
you
not
lose,
talking about old shit. How long ago did y'all lose to? How long ago did you lose to Kansas City? How long ago did you lose to Kansas City?
You just brought up the 4 Super Bowls. That's bringing up old shit.
Okay, I'm talking about right now. You can't beat the Kansas City Chiefs or the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm not talking 30 years ago. I'm talking last year.
No, when I'm talking about, when I say you deflect, the reason I called was because you brought up number 1, who had the Bengals had
Because
the best offense. Wrote on there. That's wrong. And number 2, you brought up why Josh Allen was the MVP. Should have been the MVP with Lamar Jackson, and you lost that.
Honestly, Marcus, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really have a problem with. I'm gonna be honest with you. All jokes aside, I didn't really have a problem with Josh Allen winning it last year. I really didn't. I think the reason that he lost it before because he had the second most turnovers. That's the one that y'all were screaming about. He should have won the MVP the year that Lamar won it 2 years ago. He had the second most turnovers. You can't have just 2 less turnovers than Sam Howell. He had 2 less turnovers than Sam Howell, and y'all were still yelping from the rooftops that he should have won the MVP. No, he shouldn't have.
Whoa. Wait a minute, Bex. He had over 50 touchdowns, 17 games.
And he had
18
23 turnovers. You're not going to win the MVP.
Kurt Warner won the MVP with 23 interceptions.
Yeah.
So it's not like it ain't been done.
Okay.
Josh Allen averaged 3 touchdowns a game. And it was 20
and averaged 2 turnovers a game. And averaged 1.5 turnovers a game.
He had 51 touchdowns to 22 turnovers.
Okay.
Who the heck wouldn't do that ratio?
I've seen Aaron Rodgers do it and have like 5 or 6 turnovers. We've seen that. Well, you're the one who brought up Kurt Warner. I'm bringing up a more recent quarterback with Aaron Rodgers than you are with Kurt Warner. Come on now. I'm using your argument against you.
No. What you brought up is Josh's turnovers. And I'm telling you that there was an MVP that won with just as many turnovers as he had, but Josh had more touchdowns.
Okay. And that particular year, 2 years ago, not this past season, but 2 years ago, Lamar Jackson outplayed him exponentially. He beat 3 other MVP candidates. He beat Brock Purdy, he beat Tua, and he beat Tyreek Hill in a 2-week span. That's what got him over the hump. And Josh Allen. Okay, and Josh Allen lost to Zach Wilson, where he turned over the ball 4 times in the game. When Zach Wilson wasn't even Zach Wilson wasn't even supposed to start that game. Aaron Rodgers got hurt in the first drive, and Josh Allen proceeded to go out there and lose to the Jets. Then a couple of weeks later, he lost to the Broncos, who had 72 put up on them by the Dolphins. That's why he lost, Marcus. Come on now. 72 points, and you lost to the Broncos.
Since you brought that up, let me talk now, and I'm gonna use the stuff you just brought up. When you brought up, now we talking about that year Lamar Jackson won the MVP, correct? When you said he beat all the teams, correct?
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes. 2 years ago.
Correct?
Yes.
2 years ago, that's what you're talking about, Lamar, when the Baltimore Ravens teams beat those other teams. Because 2 of those games, and I was watching them, but they went to overtime because Lamar Jackson threw the interception that put it in overtime, and they ran for a pick 6, and the Ravens special teams ran the ball back on a punt return for the score. So it wasn't like Lamar won the game, the Ravens won.
Okay.
And that same Zach Wilson that beat the Bills, that the Jets beat, they went and beat Philly too. So now we not apples, oranges. Don't forget that.
No, it's not apples and oranges because Josh Allen was single-handedly. How many turnovers did Josh Allen have in that Jets game? Since you like keeping stats, how many turnovers did he have in that game? How many turnovers did he have in the Broncos game, Marcus? Come on now.
Against the Jets. I'm telling you, he had 4 turnovers against the Jets because I was there. And the Broncos game that they had, unfortunately, my man James Cook had 2 fumbles in the game, and Josh had a pick in the game.
Okay. He threw it in a triple. You had 4 turnovers and lost to Zach Wilson in a game that Zach Wilson wasn't even supposed to play.
That's what, like you said, that's football. Now explain this is Zach Wilson. This is the same Zach Wilson that beat the Philadelphia Eagles. That's football. You turn the ball over, you can't step out, you're going to lose.
Okay, that's true. That's true, but you're also not going to win the MVP. You're not going to win the MVP when you lose to Zach Wilson. You're just not. And then when you throw 4 interceptions and put your team in a hole. When you throw 4 interceptions and put your team in a hole, yes, that's what's going to happen. Now, again, this past season when he won, look, can we admit that Allen cleaned up them turnovers last year? Yes, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. That's another reason why he was MVP.
It's not all. I'm reading some of these comments, Marcus. I'm not talking over you. It's not on Josh Allen. It's all in the defense, which is what the Eagles had to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Mahomes ran for his life. And guess what? Jalen Hurts didn't turn over the ball. And guess what? Saquon Barkley didn't have an incredible game. He threw 2 touchdowns. He threw a touchdown to A.J. Brown and he threw a touchdown to A.J. Brown and a touchdown to Devontae Smith. So it is what it is. Y'all, it's been 2 hours. I don't know where Dre went. Want to thank everybody who came out. Marcus, me and you got to get together and do something. Russell K, tell them where they can find you at. Dre, get your ass on her so we can shut this down. Tell them where they can find you at, where we can see you at, some other stuff that you do before we get ready to get out here. Talk to them. Talk to him, Russell, okay?
Well, I mean, we got some pretty cool news. Music Dreams USA Radio has now been accepted with iHeartRadio. So all you got to do is just download the iHeartRadio app and just look up Music Dreams USA Radio. And we're here every Monday with the Monday sports break. So that's pretty cool. We also cover the Charleston River Dogs, the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, also the Buffalo Bisons as well. So we got that going on. So it's been pretty busy. But yeah, you just look me up, Russell K. I'm all over Facebook and all over social media, and definitely check out our radio station. We got Rise Up Family Sports with DeAndre the Torch Robinson, and we do a sports break on the morning show. You find me 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, and it's a really cool morning show. We got zany characters, skits, and some really cool music, and it's just Western New York's #1 party station. So yeah, definitely check us out. It's always fun hanging out with my buddy Marcus and my mentor, man, DeAndre the Torch Robinson. I mean, it's just fun to be on the show and learn a lot from you guys, man. And it's just great to be here.
Make sure
Marcus, I almost had to go to the bathroom listening to what you had to say. That's where I was at.
I know the truth. I know the truth gives you the bubble guts. I know the truth is.
Good one. Good one.
Hey, Marcus, I
good
gotta leave
one.
with this one comment though. The Cincinnati Bengals will not make the playoffs.
Thank you. They definitely have it.
We want to thank
Thank you. Thank you.
We want to thank everybody that came through. Make sure that y'all show love and support. Thursdays, Rise Up Unlimited Radio show us around the same time. Torch is up there. He's talking basketball, baseball, WNBA, NFL. And for the people who aren't a part of it, jump on the Alphabets Football Show Facebook page and my YouTube channel. I'll be putting some stuff up over there. Make sure y'all tune in usually around 11:30 Eastern time, 11:30 Eastern time. That's usually when I'm back from taking my daughter to school. That we do Alphabets Football Show, Coffee Talk, where we talk a little bit of football and a little bit of life, man. We love y'all, man. Appreciate everybody who comes out and shows support. Some of this stuff, y'all take it. It ain't nothing but love here. We can look. I would rather it be here and having a sport debate. It's nothing but love and respect here. I love everybody who comes through here. I know some of y'all think me and Marcus just be hating each other. I like it. He's a worthy opponent. He comes up here. He knows his stuff, and I love a good debate. So everybody have a great night. We'll see y'all next week around this same time. And make sure y'all tune in.
Marcus is not a worthy opponent for me. So
yeah,
he's not worthy.
And make sure y'all tune in to the Rise Up Unlimited Radio show on Thursday. Okay, y'all have a good night.
See y'all Thursday. I know what it is, man. Monday Night Madness.
Bros, I'll get back with y'all.